human beings. So this is common testimony there, common observation. They've seen these balls of lights connected with hilltops specifically. They pop out of hilltops, and they go in and out of creek beds.
Whoa.
Now, go figure, you know?
Yeah. And you said something about surveillance. You told me about something about surveillance, going inside people's homes. What was that?
Well, let me read on. The other one, we did one from 37, 53, and now from 1954. The Senor Zamiro Jose Duarte told us that in 1954, he was living in the rural zone, and on a certain night, he went to his backyard and saw a luminous ball of light shining intensely with a yellowish light. It was spherical. It was flying low to the ground without making any noise at all. It directed itself towards the door of his kitchen, went into the house, into the very interior of the house. Fearful, Duarte did not enter, but he saw that the ball of light was moving around in the interior, going through the different rooms. At a certain moment, the ball of light came out through one of the windows and flew to a nearby hill. Once again, we have hilltop involved,
right,
where it disappeared. It is clear that this ball of light was extremely sophisticated, equipped for detecting open doors and windows with the purpose of going through them. So this is what he has to say.
Wow. Yeah, it's going to be interesting in your upcoming reports as we delve into the UFO mysteries further. Also understand that there's lost cities that people like Colonel Fawcett went into the jungle looking for and all of that. I understand there's quite a few of those probably still not discovered in the jungle. Will you be reporting on any of that to us?
Well, certainly this is the kind of thing that I think that I and the Brazilian Flying Saucer Association want to make the world aware of. There certainly have been lost cities, and you didn't have to go as far as the Amazon jungle to find them. I know that in the coffee growing area of Sao Paulo, maybe within a 3-hour, 4-hour drive from the coast, the Portuguese, they came across an entire city in what was the Atlantic rainforest, and with streets, with stone constructions, pyramids, temples. These were, specifically there was a temple where the Indians worshipped, and the Portuguese priests knocked it all down and used the stones to build a church, and there's a city there now. But so there have been, quite a few cities like that the Brazilians are familiar with. They know their own history. Right. They know what was there in their city. They know where the Indian temple stood, and that now that's where the plaza is, where the church is. So this kind of thing they know. But of course, people outside, they don't know.
Right. And you've also got a lot of paranormal ghosts and creatures and that type of activity down there also, isn't that right? Especially with that jungle, I'm sure.
Yes, and especially with their caves.
Yes.
There's a lot of tunnels and tunnel systems.
Right. Some of the underground tunnel systems that have been written about for years actually exist right there around your area or close enough that you might get us a handle on it.
Well, close by to Varginha, you have the city of São Tomé das Letras, St. Thomas of the Letters. And it's an area where there's a lot of quarrying that goes on. They have nice marble there. But there is a famous, and they call it cave, but it's not a cave there. It was reported on once by David Hatcher Childress, I think on the Laura Lee show.
Right.
But anyway, this tunnel goes due west. It has symmetry to it. It's about 3 meters high and about 2 meters wide. And it just goes on straight like that, keeping its shape and form. It doesn't meander. It has a certain gradient to it, a downslope, and it follows that slope, very faithfully on for many, many miles. The Brazilian army once penetrated it. They sent an expedition down there with supplies and what have you. They hiked through this tunnel for days, and they came to a chamber, a room the size of an auditorium, with another tunnel heading out due south, due west, and due north. They continued west till they came to a chasm about a day later. They stopped there, decided that they couldn't keep going, supplies were low. They turned around and came back, and nobody has gone in there since. But again, this is not a cave, this is a tunnel. It was artificially excavated. You don't have caves like that.
Right.
And there was a room in there. You know, a room with other tunnels heading out in the 4 cardinal directions. This is the kind of thing that exists in Brazil, and the kind of thing that people outside of Brazil have no idea about.
Well, I tell you one thing, we're sure glad that you signed up with us here on Unraveling the Secrets, because, you know, it's a very important place in the world. I've been reading little things about it for years. You and I have been in touch for years. Through your All Planets Yahoo group. That's all planets yahoo.com, I believe.
Yeah. All planets -hollow on Yahoo. All planets -hollow.
Yeah, and you know, pretty good group over there. But we're sure happy to have you and an extension of your group to be here to give us reports. And I know you're lining up other people, other places to also kind of widen out the area. So I just want you to know we appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. It's going to be something that gives me satisfaction. I'm not looking for fame or money, anything like that. It's going to cost me in terms of time and effort. But I believe in getting the word out. You know, I feel that when a person comes across, let's say, knowledge, you know, some hidden knowledge, when a person realizes these things, that the person has a little bit of responsibility to let others know what's going on in the world. You know?
Amen with that, brother, because I totally agree with you. Rick, did you have anything before we signed off?
Oh, I have thousands of story leads that I want him to follow up as time allows, but I think that we've got a pretty good report from you tonight, Dean, and I certainly appreciate it.
Well, my pleasure. Perhaps I could end things by quoting George Orwell in his novel 1984.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
The people could be made to accept the most flagrant violations of reality because they never fully grasped the enormity of what was demanded of them and were not sufficiently interested in public events to notice what was happening. So I think that when it comes to hidden worlds below our feet, to UFO phenomena, to lost cities in the South American jungles, I think that people really have to grasp the enormity of what is demanded of them. You know, the common person, the everyday person, and do something. Take interest. You know.
That's a good way to sign off, Dean.
Well, this has been Dean Dominic DeLucia in Sao Paulo, Brazil, for Unraveling the Secrets for PeoplesTVNetwork.com.
Thank you, Dean.